Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're the hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every day, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can view all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues that affect you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me, one more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the February 2025 Library Board meeting. Call to order at 5:43. Item number 2, public appearances and non-agenda items. There are none. Item number 3, approval of minutes. So may I have a motion to approve the January 2025 draft minutes?
I move approval.
Any discussion, corrections? Cool. All in favor of approving the January 2025 minutes, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Item number 4, financial report. So may I have a motion to approve the November 2024 financial register and overviews?
So moved.
Thank you, Ann.
All right, I'll give a few comments. Not a lot to report on the register that was out of the ordinary. I would ask that you notice the MG&E bill was $5,612, and how lovely that is because it was double in January. So we have some big numbers coming, and I'll talk about that a little bit. Uh-oh.
He's being really...
Sorry. I would also point out that there are some charges for grant programming that we did that are at the bottom of the register in account 5515510. Tim and I are working with the finance department right now to clean up some of our grant expenditures to make sure that they're coming in and going out of the right places. It's kind of a new process for us. So you may see things move around by the time we get to the end of the year report, which will be probably in March or April. And then one other thing on the overview I wanted to point out is that we did enter the CIP purchases in the green box. You'll see $21,700 there. So that is the total that we spent on the staff conference room addition. So we had budgeted $35,000. So that came in well under budget, so we're happy about that. We will also be adding the meeting room upgrade, the AV upgrade we did. That was $15,000 that will be added in there by the time we get to the end of the year. And I think that's everything. Did anybody have questions on the register or the overview?
All right, if there are no questions, all in favor of approving the November 2024 financial register and overview, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Oppositions? Motion carries. Number 5, unfinished business. There is none. Number 6, new business. So item number 1 under new business, resolution R 2625, amending the 2024 library fund budget utility costs. Can I get a motion to approve said resolution?
I move approval.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, so this is the overage that we had in the utility account. This was due to increased power bills. Just a reminder that the library is geothermal, so we run entirely on electricity, not on gas. I would have had planned to say that we think that this overage is because we were running the old chiller 24/7 because it was not performing well, and we were afraid that we couldn't get it back up to temperature if we took it down. But now that I've gotten the January bill with the new chiller that was sky high, I am not entirely sure what's happening. So we've got some people looking into it. Kevin's making some adjustments to the overnight schedule. I don't know if we're going to need to bring in the engineer that put in the chiller. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, January was cold, but we used like 90,000 kilowatt hours, which is not the highest we've ever seen, but the highest in probably since 2018. So something's going on, and we will try to find out what that is. So this could have been for those reasons. I don't know, but we're moving money from a service contract that we didn't have to pay. The sorter was installed in November of 2023, and so we made the assumption that we would pay the first year of the service contract in 2024, but they actually pushed it to January of 2025. So that works out really nicely for us because we've got this money available. So we're just moving it from one account to the other to cover the overage. We will be back, and this is going to council because we're moving money. We will be doing this again in 2025, 100%, because we had actually reduced the budget line because we thought the new chiller and the solar being up and running would help us, and that seems to not be happening. So we will be doing this again in the next few months. I don't know where that money is going to come from. We'll have to see how the year goes. But that is where we are with this one. Any questions? I wish I had better news going forward.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, it does.
All right, if no other questions, all in favor of approving Resolution R26-25, amending the 2024 Library Fund Budget - Utility Costs, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, item number 2 under new business, or item number B, sorry. Resolution R39-25, accepting GFC copier contract for library. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution R39-25?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Ann.
All right, so as you, I think, know, we were looking at renewing our copier lease. We were a little bit unhappy with the amount that we had been paying. We've been with Gordon Flush since we opened the library. We've been very happy with them. They are a local partner, but the cost was higher than we wanted, and we had them come over and look at the amount of copies that were being made, how they were being used, kind of gave our input into what we were seeing patrons. So just a reminder, we have 2 public copiers, 1 on each floor, and 2 staff copiers. We do charge for public printing, so we do recoup some of our costs. It's never going to be 100% because we do have those 2 staff computers, and we do publish our newsletter in-house. So we publish that as we need it instead of going out of to a print shop to do it. So that's part of the reason that we don't recoup. Anyway, so we got 2 bids for copiers. Gordon Flush brought ours down, so we talked about the size of the copiers, and we reduced the size on the first floor quite a bit. That machine was really meant to do much more than it was doing for us. And so it brought it down almost to half the monthly cost, which is great. We've been very happy with their service. Maintenance is included in this contract. The other bid that we got was significantly cheaper. I've talked to other libraries about if they've talked to that company as well. They said they had, but that maintenance was not included, which kind of flabbergasted me because I just assumed it was. If we were going to go forward with them, I would have to ask some real hard questions. It's also a different brand of copier that I think is not as robust as Canon. And since the 2 are public facing, we really can't have downtime without it being a real problem. So my recommendation is to stay with Gordon Flush. I very much appreciate that they brought it down. This is about $10,000 less than we had expected per year. So it does increase 3% each year because of maintenance. And I will say we are on our year 5 of our current, and they've spent quite a bit of time working on some of the machines, and that is included and not something that we have to worry about an hourly charge is fantastic. So, yeah, so I'm happy with this. Does anybody have questions? This will also go to council because...
Question?
Yeah. Dang, yes.
Wendy, is this a lease to own or completely
No.
leasing?
Completely leasing. By the time that these go
Okay.
through 5 years of use, especially the public machines, I don't think we're interested in owning them.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying the reason this is going to council instead of just library board is just because of the total commitment over the 5 years.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable. The $4,000 difference for included maintenance, that seems well more than worth it.
Yeah.
And also, it's great that they've almost halved their cost,
I
because
know.
this was a big line item.
I was not expecting that. I was very surprised when we met with them. Very happy about that. They're a good partner.
I assume that the contract and legal documents have been reviewed or will be.
Yes, they are being reviewed by the city attorney. The contract is not the same contract we had last time because they have signed a similar one with the city. So I think it has been through review before, but this specific one will go through also. Yeah.
All right, if nothing else from anybody, all in favor of approving Resolution R-39-25, accepting a GFC copier contract for library, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6C, annual review of bylaws. Do we need a motion for this?
Let's have a discussion first
Okay, that's what I thought.
because if we have more edits,
Yeah.
then we may need to push this back to March.
Okay.
So I had sent these out. So the bylaws themselves say that you need 10 days to review any changes. So I sent them out to everybody with 10 days for my change. But if we want to make other changes, that's absolutely fine. We can talk about that. We would just bring it back in and vote on it in March. The change that I was suggesting, this is real nitpicky, but was in Article, what are we, 4? Section 4 minutes. So I just wanted to clarify, current board minutes shall be posted on the City of Fitchburg website because they are not on the library website. And while the websites are connected, I think it's good to be clear about that. I did have a question from a board member after that about Section 6, so quorum, about being in person. We discussed this last year. Since we do allow Zoom now, if this needed to say that you could attend via Zoom, it was decided, I think, citywide that was not necessary. The city ordinance that applies here is that you cannot participate in a closed session over Zoom. And because that's included in the ordinance, I don't think we have to specify it here. I didn't have any other questions. Does anybody have questions tonight or suggestions? These are fairly simple. I think that's smart. I think that means we don't have to make a lot of changes. And I think they've been working for us. So I would be comfortable approving them tonight if you are.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Excellent.
Okay, given that anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns? All right, so this, to be clear, this would be approving the document as it stands, plus the one suggested change from Wendy about the website. Okay, great. All in favor of approving the annual, the Fitchburg Public Library Board of Trustees bylaws, say aye.
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 All opposed? And motion carries. And under item 6, new business, line D, begin 2025 CIP discussion. I imagine this also doesn't need a motion.
Correct.
Correct, all right.
So we are just starting to think about what the 2025 CIP will look like. Typically with library CIP projects, we use our fund balance to fund them. We do also have access to a CIP for building repairs that is held by the Department of Public Works. And that is for building type things. If the chiller had not been funded through ARPA, it probably would have gone through that. It's for carpet. It's for real building things, not library things. So this year we are doing, as you know, a redesign of the second floor, and I'll talk about that in my report a little bit. My thought for 2025 is to refresh the children's area. So 15 years of the same carpet, the children's department, it could use a refresh. We clean it a lot. There's only so much you can do after that much time. But I also would like to look at some sort of art or play installation. We are, I think, struggling in Dane County to get Fitchburg residents to come to the Fitchburg Library and check out of the Fitchburg Library. So the cross-municipal, cross-township payments that we make, we are losing quite a bit of money to adjacent libraries. So I think upping our game in the children's department would pay off in circulation numbers, which then turns into dollar amounts. So I think it's a smart thing to do. I would like to work in conjunction with Friends as well, because I think this would be a project that they would be interested in, meeting with their president next week. I know of a couple companies that do kind of art installations, and it's not like climb on things that are dangerous, require a lot of staff time to monitor, more like book characters that could be put on the walls, just kind of make it a more fun space. I've worked with a company in Ohio when I was there that did a great job. I don't know price-wise, there's a lot of things to consider, so we'll definitely look at what our options are. But I think that would be a smart thing to do in 2025. And I think that would combine both the library's fund balance, Friends donations, and then I think like the carpet could probably come out of that Public Works CIP. So that's what I'm looking at putting together for 2025. The other thing, any questions about that? Any concerns?
Just thought, Wendy, it's that Tom Linfield, your good friend, is now the CEO of the Children's Museum.
Yeah, he might have some good.
I wonder if there's a collaboration opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably got great contacts for this kind of thing. Excellent. So the other thing that is on the CIP, I believe, is the self-check machine. So we have pushed this, I think, twice now. I still think we might push this back to 26. Our self-checks are doing great. They were quite expensive. If we're not having problems with them, they're still under a service contract, and they are responding well. We've had a couple of things go wrong, nothing major. So I think we will put this off for another year. And Phil agrees, and he's the circulation manager. So if we start to see them, I feel like they'll reach end of life all at the same time. So we've got 5. So I think we will have a pretty clear view of when it's time to move on. And we will be probably changing brands at that point. But patrons seem to really like the ones we have, and I don't see a reason to make a change. Any questions about that? Those are the only 2 things on the CIP radar at the moment. It is only February. We'll be talking about this for months. So, yeah, but that's all I've got at the moment.
Kind of related to the children's area, with the hub going live soon, or is it already live? Something like that. Are we involved with that in any way? Do we do programming there or have any?
What I hope our involvement will be is for Minda, our outreach librarian, to be up there maybe once a week.
Okay.
We have needed a space to do programming in that area. There are a couple of apartment complexes, but they have some insurance rules and availability things. So I think it will be great to have a space to do programs. I'm not planning on staffing it.
Sure.
And I've said that from long before they broke ground on it. We can't manage that. But I think using the space, as we have programs to do up there, will be great.
Okay, but we're not planning on any kind of
no.
Yeah, no permanent space there.
No.
Okay.
No, I think there is one office included in that building, and it certainly wouldn't be ours.
Okay, sure, that's fair.
Yeah, unless somebody wants to fund a position for us, or maybe 4 of them. I don't know. I don't even know how that would work. So, yeah, good question though. Yeah. All right.
All right. If nothing else, we will table the discussion until a further date. Item number 7, President's Report. Thank you, Mariah, for coming to your first meeting. So, everybody, this is Mariah. We've introduced her off camera, but to anybody else who's watching and is curious. And then somewhat related, Toby has officially resigned from the board. So we will be looking to fill that spot also here in the near future. I've talked with the mayor, and we do have some candidates in the pipeline. So
Yes, we have someone who is accepted, and I anticipate will be
Awesome.
appointed next Tuesday. Yep. So we'll be here in March.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. And otherwise, thank you for your patience and, making the trek over here in the cold. It was a little unpleasant, but, we're a good, flexible group. And moving on to item number 8, Library Director's Report, handing it to you, Wendy.
All right. So if you look at the statistics for this month, we have added something kind of exciting right at the very top, monthly visits. So this is the new software that we installed, Facility Site, that gives us actual real-time data about how many people are in the building at any given time, but also any given day, any given month. So we are going to be reporting this monthly from now on. We used to do a survey week, twice a year, and our gates only count on one side, so we would have to put caution tape up and try to funnel people in the right way, and it was always just kind of a real soft number. So this is great. I'm happy to see it. Other than that, I don't think I have anything in stats to comment on, unless anybody has a question.
I just had a quick one.
Yeah.
Was the monthly visits what you expected, or higher or lower?
It was about what I expected for January. So we generally think 3,000 a month, or 3,000 a week. Sorry.
Okay.
And so I was kind of looking for a 12, but January is not our busiest month, and we were closed 2 days for holidays. So yeah, I think this is about right. It'll be interesting to see through the year how it pans out. I was a little afraid when we put them in that it would be way lower than we thought. So I'm happy that didn't happen. All right. Other things. MG&E bill I mentioned. So our bill was $11,000 for January. Again, I usually look at the kilowatt hours because the rates do fluctuate and everything is getting more expensive. So, but we were at 90,000 kilowatt hours. We were at 84,000 kilowatt hours in December. So there's a trend there. I don't like it. But it's not like 1 month is completely out of whack. So we'll be watching that for a couple of months and taking a look. I do think that we had a couple of days where it was extraordinarily cold in the morning, and so we've been running at more hours of the day than we need to. So starting tomorrow, we're going to pull back on that and kind of see how it does in the mornings. So this may just be chalked up to we just need to get used to the new chiller in the winter. We've gone through sort of late summer and fall, but the fall was really, even early winter was pretty warm. So I have been going to Weather Underground to the historical view to look at the month to see if I'm absolutely crazy when it comes in and I think it's too high. I also got my own personal electricity bill, and it was much higher. So I don't know. Maybe this is just winter and I have to get used to it. I always look back at the month that we had the polar vortex and think we couldn't ever possibly need more kilowatt hours, but it turns out that's not true. So who knows? I will keep you posted on that. This year we are doing a replacement of the backup battery system in the library. This is real unexciting stuff, but it's also expensive, so I wanted to let you know before we went through with it. We have a backup battery in the basement in the electrical room. It's a giant red box that for sure looks like it's going to kill you if you even touch it. And it's full of backup batteries that run a emergency lighting system that gives us about 30 minutes of emergency light in a power outage. We do not have a generator. Power goes out. We are just trying to clear the building and get everybody out safely. So we are not providing service. We're just emptying the building. It needs to be replaced. They have been talking to us about this for a couple of years, and I have been resistant because it's going to be about $10,000. But we were able to carry over $4,500 from the 240, which is work done by others or unexpected repairs, depending on who is talking about the account. But we had funds left over last year, so we're going to carry that over, put that together with $5,000 from this year. The total budget in that this year is $19,000. So I think it's a good time to do it. So not what is exciting to spend money on, but needs to happen. And then I mentioned the second floor redesign. So we are working with the designer from South Central. So she's one of the consultants. So one of the things that we pay our fee to South Central for. She's great. She came and we did a whole walkthrough of the second floor to talk about what we liked about it, what we didn't. We also did an exercise at the last staff in-service. So asking the staff that work on that floor, like, what do you like about it? What would you change? I think one of the big things that I knew we wanted to do was to take out that technology center and redo, like, just do computers a different way. So we will be making that, it's a glass wall mostly now. We'll just be making it a bigger cased opening. We can't get rid of the wall because we've got in-floor heating ducts that come up into the sidewall, which will keep the cost down a little bit as well. That gives us some room to swing some shelves around. So we've got some biographies and oversized shelving that kind of block the view down that way. And so we're going to get rid of one of those, swing the other two around so you can see really from one end to the other. We'll put in, there's currently some cabinets in that room, in the back of the tech centers. We're taking those out, replacing that with a bench, and then doing some like cafe tables and seating. Do some more armchairs, comfy armchairs in the window. And then we're going to add some shelving on the wall for the oversized books because they didn't have another home. We're also going to we currently have 2 ranges of magazine shelving. Magazines are folding left and right. They're going digital. They're not existing. And so we think we can get rid of one of those and keep the other one. I think will stay. We looked into adding more study rooms, and there really isn't a way structurally to do that. We were kind of hoping we could tuck some back in the tech center. But the ceiling is like 3 different heights, and there's vents and HVAC, and it turned out that it would just be an enormous renovation, which is not what we're looking to do. We're just looking to kind of redesign. We are looking to add some shelving by the meeting rooms. So I think we have a lot of people that come to meetings at the library, come to the second floor, go to their meeting, leave, never see collections, never check anything out, and we want them to check out. So we're going to put some, I think, Lucky Day, new books, that kind of thing, right there where you can't miss it. There's also self-check right there, so you could still just come to the second floor for your meeting, but maybe grab something on your way out. We have, for the last couple of months, had a display table by the front door on the first floor, and it is amazing how many people take stuff off of it just because it's right next to the door. We do displays all over the building, but if you don't, happen to go by them. So, yeah, so that project's going really well. Oh, we're also looking at doing, they're called pods. So moving some of the study tables around and getting some pods where it's like kind of a one seat with a table. So you have kind of a feeling of privacy, but not a lot of privacy because this is a public building. And so you can put 4 of those kind of back to back in a kind of a circle. And I think we have study tables for 4 that one person will sit at. I think this will make it more efficient and give us more seating that people will actually use. So I'm very happy. We're looking at swatches already and getting quotes on shelving and getting quotes on other things. So I think it's going well. I wanted to start early because some of this stuff takes a long time to get, and I don't want this to, if we can help it, to roll over into the next year. I'll keep you updated throughout the year as that's going on, and as we've got new things to show off. I went to Library Legislative Day last week on Tuesday. It did not blizzard on us for the first time in a long time. That was great. Governor U-verse came and spoke to us, which was fantastic. And then I went to visit Melissa Ratcliffe and Randy Udell, who used to be on the council here, so it was fantastic to get to visit. So that was good. We were just sort of advocating for library funding. The governor's budget came out, I think, yesterday and is including increased funds for libraries through DPI. So we'll see if that sticks. Hopefully it was, I think, a $2 million increase in the first year and a $4 million increase in the second year. So that money typically goes to systems and then trickles down to us. So always a good thing to do, I think. And then I just wanted to mention that we had a patron pass away, Arliss Kempf. She was a dedicated patron, and her husband directed memorial donations to come to the library. So we've gotten some lovely donations, and we are putting that into large print books, which was one of the things that she had donated for in the past. So always good to see that happen, that people think of us. And that is all for my report. That's a lot. Personnel, I don't think I have anything, which is good. We haven't had a lot of turnover lately, so that's great. Strategic planning, I really thought we were going to have a productive meeting this afternoon, but everybody is sick. We're just covering the desk, so we will get to it.
All right, thank you, Wendy. Item number 9, announcements. The next library board meeting will be Wednesday, March 19th, 2025 at 5:30, hopefully in the library meeting room. And item number 10, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you, Jim. All in favor? Say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. See you next month.